Get ready to hear the truth about America on a show that's not immune to the facts with your host, Dan Bongino.
All right, welcome back to the Dan Bongino Show. I just woke poor producer Joe up out of bed, and believe me, his Elvis hair was all over the place. Yeah. He has a mane that I can see him, and he is just a disaster right now. But he cleaned it up, and now he looks good. Listen, I don't want to waste your time. I wanted to get right back. I don't typically do these special appendix episodes to the core episode of the day, but we had a major news release, the Rod Rosenstein, Deputy Attorney General press conference, where they announced the indictment of a number of Russians in conjunction with an attack on the democracy, our republic, is the more precise way to say it. So let me just give you a quick update on what's going on. I'll address it more in the Monday show. I just didn't want to lose you throughout the weekend. Okay. So now we know, Joe, at least up to this point, we can finally put the collusion narrative to bed. From what we've seen from this, these indictments are against Russians who were operating basically Twitter bots, social media accounts, and advocacy groups under the guise of being American political operatives, while they were really Russians the entire time, working behind the scenes to do what I told you the Russians do, which is sow chaos. Now, some of you may be saying, but Dan, they were indictments against Russians, and they were attacking our democracy, and we've been told by the media that clearly this was an attack on on Hillary Clinton to favor Donald Trump. Okay, I took a snapshot of the actual indictment, which I will read to you a telling portion of it to show you how the media has been lying to you again. All right. The Russians did attack us. The Russians continue to attack our republic, continue to attack our democracy. But they attack both sides. Here we go, Joe. Mm-hmm. This is important, folks. In or around late June 2016, defendants and their co-conspirators used the Facebook group United Muslims of America to promote a rally called Support Hillary, Save American Muslims. Now, Joe. Yeah. I know you just got up because Joe works all night, all day, and everything. And I know your hair's all cleaned up now. Yeah. Your brain may not be unclogged yet.
Not yet.
Do you think an effort to attack Hillary would be spread around by a fake group calling themselves United Muslims of America, who are endorsing a rally called Support Hillary, Save American Muslims?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so even though you just got up, that doesn't sound like an anti-Hillary group to you and a pro-Trump group.
Nah, hell no.
Okay. Joe, that's in the indictment, by the way.
Okay.
I'm just reading what's in the indictment,
all right.
Okay? It's a legal document, Joe. Okay? All right. It goes on. Defendants and their co-conspirators recruited a real U.S. person to hold up a sign depicting Hillary Clinton and a quote attributed to her saying, "I think Sharia law will be a powerful new direction of freedom." I don't know if that's pro or con. I don't know what for me, it would definitely be a con. But again, it goes on. Within 3 weeks, on or about July 26, 2016, defendants and their co-conspirators posted the same on the same Facebook page that Muslim voters were between Hillary Clinton and a hard place. Folks, the indictment goes on and on. There's some pro-Trump stuff. There's anti-Trump stuff. There's efforts to co-opt Black Lives Matter groups. What I've been telling you the entire time is that the Russians engage in what we called during the nuclear era Cold War with the Russians, with the Soviets at the time, mutually assured destruction. This is mutually assured intelligence destruction. The Russians mess with everybody. They screwed with us. They should pay for it. I said it the other day on the show. We should pay them back. But can we finally put to bed this idea that the Russians colluded with the Trump team to alter this electoral result? And by the way, it goes on a bit here. Let me read to you some more. This is from Rod Rosenstein, folks, in case you're saying, well, who are these co-conspirators? Were Americans involved with the Trump team who were helping them? This is from Rod Rosenstein himself during the press conference. Mm-hmm. There is no allegation in this indictment. There is no allegation in this indictment that any American was a knowing participant in this illegal activity, meaning there was no tie to the Trump campaign or any other campaign for these activities, as my buddy says here. Folks, The Russians were pushing pro-Clinton ads, pro-Trump ads, anti-Clinton ads, anti-Trump ads, because this is what the Russians do. They engage in chaos theory. Yeah. They want to cause chaos so they can come back and fill in a hole. What part of this are you missing? And yet, so now, Joe, January of 2016, no collusion evidence. February of 2016, no collusion. Let's skip to August, no collusion. Right. September, no collusion. October, November, December, no collusion. January of 2017, no collusion. There's still no collusion. January of 2018, no collusion. We're into February, there's no collusion. And the media is still looking for collusion despite the fact that the Attorney General just came out after these indictments and clearly said there were no Americans knowingly involved. You can't unwittingly collude. As this imbecile I'm dealing with on Huffington Post on Twitter keeps assuming you can unwittingly collude with people. He apparently has a tough time with the definition of collusion. Here's the definition of collusion, Joe. I had to look it up for this dope. Secret agreement or cooperation, especially for an illegal or deceitful purpose. How do you make a secret agreement with someone unknowingly? Joe. Yeah. If I were to say to you, Joe, I need you to get up from your slumber because we're going to do a special indictment episode on the Dan Bongino show. Can you unknowingly agree to do that?
No, I couldn't.
That would be hard, right? I mean, I know that would be kind of tough. Yeah. You either agree that you knowingly are going to do it, or you can't unknowingly agree and no one can agree for you.
Right.
Okay? You can't unwittingly collude. There's no... I just got off Hannity Radio, and I'm like, that was the point I tried. How do you unwittingly collude? Another thing, they were posing as Americans, the Russians that were doing this. Yeah. Folks, it's bad enough, okay? We get it. But can we finally put this special counsel to bed, and can we agree on some core points? Here's what I tweeted out, and I'll let you guys roll for the day. I wanted to just get my thoughts out on this, and we'll cover more of it, certainly, on Monday's show. Cool. And by the way, it is really sad watching liberals melt down on Twitter, who are now upset that the president's not guilty of treason. They're upset about it, Joe, because that's what they wanted the whole time.
Well, we knew that. Yeah.
Here's what I tweeted out. Can we all finally agree on these things? Because this is what we know so far. Can we agree, number one, the Russians are attacking our republic to cause chaos. Mm-hmm. We get it. And it's time for us to fight back. As I said the other day, no sane Republican or Democrat's going to argue otherwise. Can we also agree? The media humiliated themselves and continues to by playing into Russian hands and causing chaos themselves by continuing to propagate an entirely false collusion hoax that doesn't exist. Number three, can we also agree that the Democrats happily joined in the chaos in an effort to discredit Trump? Now we know those three things. I'm sorry they were uncomfortable for you libs, but we know those three things are true. All right, folks, didn't want to bother you too much today. I know it's going to be the weekend, but I didn't want to let you get to Monday without having my opinion on this. Bottom line is this. There is still no collusion. There's no evidence of collusion. The indictment lays out efforts to elect Hillary, efforts to not elect Hillary, along with efforts to elect Trump and not elect Trump. What does that mean? That means they were causing chaos, what we've been saying the whole time. They weren't working with Trump. There additionally, final takeaway, is no evidence at all still that anyone on the Trump team worked with any Russian entity to help get Trump elected. None. And they'll continue to talk about it. All right, folks, thanks a lot for tuning back in today. We appreciate you checking out the addendum today to the show, commercial free, and I'll see you all on Monday.
You just heard the Dan Bongino Show. Get more of Dan online anytime at conservativereview.com. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud. And follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 at DBongino.